talk about the different types of sprinkler heads on the market today. These three over here are rotors. Rotors are used for long throws. If you happen to have a yard that you need to throw 30, 40, some of the rotors even go up to 50 feet in distance for throw. They have different nozzles that you can put in them for different spray patterns. These are the rotors. The other type is an impact spray. These are ones that have been around for a long time. Some of these have been above ground, below ground. These impacts, I'm sure you'll know what they are if you've seen them in a lot of the parks. They just go and back and forth, and they shoot a stream out the front, and they also shoot a little bit out to the side. So they do water the sidewalks and driveways quite a bit and waste a lot of water. And these are the pop-up spray heads. Pop-up spray heads, the bodies, which you see here, come in different heights. You can get them from a 2-inch all the way up to an 18-inch. But the most common for lawn is the 2-inch and the 4-inch. For this application, we're going to use a 4-inch pop-up. This, we feel, gives us a nice size for spraying over the tallest grasses that you may want to put in. Now, looking at a head and picking out a good head and knowing some of the features of it that we like about the 4-inch pop-up, let's take this apart. This is the body. Then you have a spring. You also have a plunger. It's inside the spring. And you have a thread keeper that comes with it to keep the threads from being messed up until you select the nozzle. Now, in selecting of a head, one of the things that we look for is right here. It's called a wiper seal. That's the white part of this head. Now, it may be gray or different colors, but the wiper seal on a good quality head is important because it prevents the water from spraying up alongside of the plunger when the sprinkler head is operating. Now, the thread keeper just keeps the threads so that they don't get messed up until you install a nozzle. Now, right here in front, you see the nozzles. Now, these nozzles they come in various arcs and various distances. You can get them as low as 6 foot and as high as 18-foot throws. The fixed ones that you'll probably see that are the most common are a 90 degree, a 180 degree, and a 360 degree. Then they also have an adjustable arc. This is what you'd use for all those weird angles or for curves in areas that you need to have a different arc so that you don't overspray the lawn area. All the nozzles have a set screw in the middle. The set screw is to adjust the throw of that particular nozzle. You can set that set screw all the way down and shut it off, or you can adjust it down a little bit. It's designed to just a fine adjustment to bring it down from maybe a 12-foot down to 11 or a 10-foot. If you need to go down below that, they make a shorter spray nozzle that you need to use. You turn them down too far, they have a tendency to plug up all the time, and you'll always come out and see that particular nozzle plugged up. The nozzles will screw right on the end of the plunger. You take the thread keeper off and you screw the nozzle on. You may find these nozzles come with the heads, but they are a separate component. So whether you buy them with the head or without, just want you to know they are a separate component that come off and that you can replace. And they have notches. It slips right back into the body. Now, to mount these bodies on these spray bodies, what you also need is risers. Risers come in different diameters, and there's different styles. What we recommend is a cutoff or staged riser. And what we mean by that is you can see there's gaps through the threads here. Each one of those gaps are an area that you can cut that off, and the threads will start again for screwing the heads on. So the riser is what you're going to be used to mount the sprinkler head. And that mounts into your PVC fitting, and you can take these risers and cut them. You adjust your heads and hold the head to where you want it for ground level, and you cut it at that level and screw the head on. Also, another type of riser that's available is called a swing joint. Now, the swing joint works same way. You can adjust the height of the sprinkler head. Your head mounts on to the end. Now, these you don't have to assemble these come pre-assembled. The only part that doesn't come with it is the PVC part. This would be your PVC fitting in the ground, and this swings up and down so that you can adjust the head any height you want it. And the reason you'd use a swing joint are along edges of driveways where you might drive off the driveway and run over a sprinkler head where it would normally bust the riser or bust the PVC fitting under it. The swing joints prevent that from happening. It just pushes it down on the ground and you don't end up with a busted part. Now, if you're using a heavy riding lawnmower and a big lawn, you might want to put these on all of your sprinkler heads, because in ground that gets saturated sometimes gets soft and can bust the risers or bust the fittings. So you might want to consider this if you're using a riding lawnmower for all of your heads. One of the other features of this head that helps us in selection here is the ratchet feature of the plunger. You can hear that. The plunger actually rotates without turning the body, and you can adjust that nozzle like for your fixed arcs to get them exactly to where you want them to spray.